First of all, we've made some roster moves today. Optioned Ashton Goudeau and Rylan Bannon and Yusniel Diaz and Ryan McKenna and Tyler Nevin to AAA or alternate site. But guys had good camps. They're knocking on the door and on our radar screen this year, and I think we might see any or all of them debut. So all those guys showed well, but we're at the point in camp where we're starting to pare down, and made those moves today. Additionally, the news today of the Maikel Franco signing, and concurrently Hunter Harvey going to the 60-day disabled list. As you saw, he had some oblique discomfort, pretty large strain in the oblique, and it's an injury that through experience we know takes a lot of time, especially for a pitcher to come back on his throwing program. So given the need not to rush it, and the timeline with these, we went ahead and put him on the 60. And then Maikel Franco, I think, is someone that is going to help us a lot and fit in very well with the personnel that we have on this roster. I think it gives us not only an upgrade in different spots in the lineup and at various positions in the lineup, and a right-handed bat that fits in well with some of our other personnel, but it also makes our team deeper and protects us against what'll be a long season and the ups and downs and injuries that happen over the course of the season. And I also think that his addition takes a good bit of pressure, so to speak, off of a lot of the different hitters around our lineup, different corners, first base, third base, the corner outfielders that'll be rotating through the DH spot. Everyone, I think, will be seeing a lot of playing time, and he's going to be a really good fit in that mix, and certainly give us somebody that can mix and match at third base, but also at first base and DH at times as needed. And then lastly, and I'll let Brandon talk in a little bit more detail, Felix Hernandez was removed after the first inning with some right elbow discomfort. So he's getting checked out, and I'm sure we'll have more when we have more.
All right, I will open it up for questions. First up is Rich Dubroff.
Hey, Brandon, are you concerned about Hunter Harvey and the number of injuries that he has had over the years?
It's an oblique injury. They're very common in spring training. I also think the 2020 to 2021 calendar that we've been dealing with is probably leading to more than their fair share. So he'll bounce back, and we just want to make sure that his arm is ramped up properly and is in shape. And, I think we're going to see him in May or early June.
Dan Connolly.
Mike, one procedural question as far as Harvey's concerned, and then one overall question. But the procedural question on Harvey: how far can you backdate the transaction, and what would that put him to as far as coming back? You did mention May, and also and the Franco signing. What does that do for Ruiz?
So with Harvey, my understanding is that it's 60 days from opening day, and whether that's March 31st this year or April 1st, across the league, I frankly don't know. For Rio, he's played well for us for a couple of years, and he will continue to do that. But I think that we're going to need more options, right-handed options at times. We're going to need more depth. We're going to need guys that can, like I said, rotate around in those spots. We had in the past couple of years here Hanser Alberto and Renato Nunez, both of whom would be right-handed options at third base from time to time. Our roster's not built exactly like that this year. So we thought this was a good opportunity, seeing a player of his caliber still unsigned. I had at the top forgotten to mention that with the way we structured his contract, we have given ourselves and him sort of a pathway to ramping up a little slower after opening day and sending him to the alternate site if we feel that that's in his best interest, at least for a couple of weeks. And We think that's good because, I mean, historically, we've seen these guys that miss spring training. Sometimes you can see the effects of that. So he wanted that option as well. We wanted to give ourselves that flexibility. So I just think it makes our whole team stronger and our mix stronger. And we're hopeful that he'll make the most of this opportunity. He wanted to play for the Orioles. He wants to be a part of this group. He's got a good relationship with Freddie Galvis already, and it seemed like a good fit. So it's definitely more competition for the guys that are already on the roster, but there's still a lot of opportunity for all these guys.
Joe Trezza.
Mike, does Hunter's injury allow you guys to take maybe an extra long man type up in the bullpen, just given how many innings you're going to have to cover early in the season?
I think possibly. We're still assessing that, and Brandon and I will talk through it as we go. But it's he was one of the shorter stint right-handed relievers that we have here in camp, and then now obviously he's not going to be on an opening day option. So that's one fewer short reliever that has a chance to make the team.
Rock.
Mike, do you feel like you have enough starting pitching in camp, depending on how serious this is with Felix, or do you think you might have to go out and try and find another arm?
Well, we're always looking, and we'll see what happens. Towards the end, guys leave camps, they exercise outs. There's waiver activity. We'll just have to see. But I think we're seeing some encouraging stuff here. We got a good start yesterday from Matt Harvey. Jorge Lopez looked good today. Bruce Zimmerman's looked good. Keegan Aiken threw well yesterday. So, we've got a good competition going on, and we got a long ways to go. And I know Brandon and the coaches are watching keenly and seeing good things.
Steve Molesky.
Mike, would it be hard to keep Rio and Franco both on the opening day roster because of their limited ability to play outside of corner infield? And secondly, how do you rate Franco's defense?
I think it's definitely a possibility to have any of these guys in an opening day mix together. It's going to depend on some other decisions that we make. And so it's hard to address that as a one-off on March 16th, but certainly seems very possible to me that both those guys are on the team at the same time the whole year, if that's what happens. And so that's kind of why we like the signing. We see an avenue for a lot of these guys to blend together and create some options for Brandon and some competition, and we'll see where it goes. I'm sorry, I missed your second question.
How do you rate Franco on defense?
Yeah, he's got a very strong arm. He's played his entire career at third base, and our scouts like what they see from him. He made a big step forward last year. He's got the tools to play a real strong average major league third base, and he really did that last year for the Royals. So he's still a young guy. I think he's going to be coming in here in great shape. I think we've seen that already, and we'll see what we get. We're excited to get him out on the field, but he's got a tremendous arm, and that's a good place to start for a third baseman.
All right, our second to last question is Dan Connolly.
Hey, Mike, you and Brandon had said that it's a possibility of a 6-man rotation. If Felix can't go, does that alter any plans at all? Does that change, the overall possibility?
I don't know that, it's dependent on any one guy. I think we're going to see what we've got and look at things in the context of the 40-man roster, guys that are on it, guys that aren't, and who are the best length options, whether that's a 6-man rotation or even just to start the year, or whether we take some of those length options and put them in the bullpen. I don't know. I think that we're going to just break with the best pitchers that we can. We still got a ways to go. We're still evaluating some guys, frankly, and it's going to depend on the personnel that get chosen for this team.
Final question is from Rich Dubroff.
Hey, Mike, do you see any realistic option that you'll be able to keep one or two or both of the Rule 5 pitchers?
Yeah, they're still competing, and they're both very interesting. The stuff has been very good. Obviously, the results have been a little uneven, but that's to be expected for some of these guys in general. But then also coming off of the layoff that they both had. So we're using as much time and opportunity we can to evaluate those guys. But the stuff and the velocity thus far have been as good as advertised and what we were hoping to get.